Hi, this is Graphically Alex coming at you with all things fat related. If that's something that interests you, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. So, I just wanted to give my take on this situation just kind of quickly because I know that most of you guys have seen probably tons and tons and tons of clips and stuff already. I'm totally late to this party. Always late to the party. Always not on point. Not that you guys didn't tell me, which I appreciate, by the way. But for anybody who doesn't know, the Fatosphere was struck with another asteroid, like last week or so, or a while back. I think it was like the 18th, or it was a minute. I was really late. I'm very late to the party, but basically rapper Dank Demoss, she got denied a Lyft ride. And she posted a clip, which I think is right here. Yeah, you can see how far back it is. It's way back. I'm like, ooh, I'm really late. But she did not, she was not happy. I'm not necessarily going to play it just because, like I said, but she posted it right here. Yeah, January 19th. Like I said, you guys have probably seen the clips forever. If you do want to see it, it's on her Instagram, but there's like news, it's mainstream media, like it's everywhere that this occurred. And basically, to sum it up, she was trying to get a ride from a Lyft driver, and basically he denied her because he said that she was too big to get in the car. She's like around, I think she's around 500 pounds. So she's pretty big. And even here, she's saying my mind doesn't know my body is this big. So this kind of stuff. So there's like a lot going on there. And I would just say, like, honestly, when we get to when you're in like a 500 pounder zone, I think it's really important to understand that your body type or whatever is not at all average. So there are going to be certain limits within reality. Like, she could not ride a horse either. She could not zip line. She could not skydive. Like, there's a lot of things that she's not going to be able to do. And it is due to her size. It's a physical issue. And when it comes to the car, he had like a smaller car, and he was basically saying you should get Uber XL, which I think is fair, honestly. So I will say I do think the driver has a point here. I know you guys were wanting my opinion on it, and it's like, it's just kind of embarrassing. I think this is one of those things that strikes the Fatosphere. It's kind of like the rejected woman, right? When she was rejected on the date. This is like one of those things in it's like a fat acceptance urban legend. It's like hard to explain. Or it's like a fat urban legend. I don't know how to describe it. It's the same thing with the rejected woman. It's like there's certain things that a lot of fat people, they deeply fear, like alligators in the sewers, like there's just something to this that strikes a core, which I think is why it blew up so much as a story, because it's kind of horrifying. Because it's like you're trying to go somewhere, you have somebody come to pick you up, and they refuse it. And it's just like, oh my gosh, and it's refused because of my size. And I think it just strikes this chord, which is why I think a lot of people have talked about it and why it's been such a thing. And even, like I said, some of you guys showed me the event, so to speak. And I was like, oh my gosh. Of course, at the time I was like super busy, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I probably should have covered it, but I'm mad at myself that I didn't. So I'm doing it now. But basically, all I can say about it is, the only way that I can kind of add something new to it is to just kind of offer my experience of cars and stuff. And very recently, last year, when I went to LA in August, my friend, he picked me up in a bug. And I literally it was Eric. I was giving Eric so much shit the whole time. I was like, Eric, I'm not going to fit in that car. What the hell? Like, what the fuck? Like, why you have this car? I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was being all dramatic. I'm like, it's a death trap on wheels. You know, it's like I'm gonna die in this car. Like if we drive it on the freeway. Like I was just being really extra. But I'm just saying. And I was probably around like 285, 280 ish, like in that range. I don't know my weight exactly, but I think I was kind of around there in August of 2024. And I'm 6'1", so I was morbidly obese. And I was becoming a small fat, so to speak. And I basically, the world was testing my small fatness. I got on a plane and I got into a bug. And I was like, oh my gosh, and I did fit. But it was a tight fit. It's kind of tight, but I fit. And I'm just saying, I do not think she could fit in the bug. You know, there are certain limits. I think it's important to understand the limits of physical reality. And I do feel bad. I do feel bad for her, but I don't really agree with her lawsuit. And this has to do with Michigan having like an anti-weight discrimination law and this kind of stuff. But I just don't think that makes any sense. It just doesn't. I think that she should order the Uber XL because those are bigger cars. And, you know, he's expecting her to sit in the back seat. The back seat is really small. He said in the video that he had already tried to have a big person fit in the car and they couldn't. Like a very, very big person. So he was like, I have experience with that. Like, I can't do it. And she got irritated because he talked about his tires and stuff, which I don't know. I mean, to me, I feel like he's just kind of saying whatever he can because he knows that she can't fit in the car. And it's a sucky situation. Obviously, I feel, like I said, I feel bad for her on a personal level, but I don't really feel bad for her in the sense of like suing and stuff. I just don't think I think she should order an Uber XL, basically. I really think it's that simple. I think if you're 500 pounds, you probably need a bigger car. It's just a reality, and I don't think that it's healthy to pretend that that isn't the case. And that's basically my stance on this. So I think that's, you know, it's short and sweet, but that's basically what I think about this whole thing. It's kind of like an obvious answer, which I think a lot of people have said, which is why I wasn't sure if I wanted to comment on it at first, besides being super busy and all that kind of stuff, because I just felt like I was just going to echo what a lot of other people said about it. But I think that we'll definitely be keeping up with this case. I think I read that the case is happening in April. So we will be looking at the results of that. I think it does bring up a lot of important questions about fat activism and the laws that they're passing and these types of things. Like if the laws keep passing throughout different areas, then these types of lawsuits and issues are going to start happening more and more and more, which I think that's an interesting trend in fat acceptance, to kind of be doing lawfare and like suing and these kinds of things if this were to start a trend. But I don't know that every fat person's going to start suing all the time, but it is interesting that Michigan's law is being used in this way so quickly. So I guess we'll see what happens. You know, I do wonder if I wonder what will happen with this. So we will definitely be paying attention. I'll be paying attention to the court case. Like I said, I think it's going to happen in April, I'm pretty sure, unless if I read that wrong. But until then, that's basically it. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, night, etc. I will see you guys tomorrow with a bit of a longer video for those of you guys who like that. And then I did a longer video yesterday where I kind of just had a lot of feelings about shifting phases. So if you guys are interested in a longer one today, maybe you missed that one yesterday. But I will talk to you guys next week. Just kidding. I'm going to be here tomorrow. I'm all confused because I filmed multiple videos tonight. So I'm very confused right now. I'm going to get to bed. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see y'all soon. Peace.